Hello and welcome to our first story. Pressure is mounting on government to take out taxes on petroleum products. Well, a former National Petroleum Authority boss, Alex Moore, disclosed that such particular taxes can be taken off. It comes after concerns that removing some petroleum taxes could cripple the economy because of the sluggish revenue situation in the country. Well, speaking to George Rafi on the PM Express Business Edition, the former CEO of MPA, Alex Moore, cited the special petroleum tax as one of the levies that must be removed.
We still have a special tax of about 46 pesos, which is still lingering on the price build-up. If the government really wants the consumer to benefit from a reduction, then government has to forgo some of these taxes. But I don't think that's going to happen because they have revenue challenges. And the government is not going to do that.
But Alex, you've been told that in the mid-year review, maybe something of that sort could be considered.
It didn't happen in the main budget.
Well, the whole issue is that, you know, there was a price stabilization levy in the price build-up. That means that we've been collecting money over the years so that we can use it when a situation like this occurs where we have abnormal pricing. That means oil prices are above $60, $70 for a sustained period. Then we would use some of that price stabilization levy, which has been accruing over the years. And I'm hoping that it's accounted for somewhere. And there is some available that can be used to cushion the consumer. So that is an area that government can look at.
But Alex, let me pick, I mean, putting on the cap as a finance person, a banker, somebody who has seen from the upstream, downstream, and all the rest, is it feasible to reduce these taxes?
Yes.
Well, I'm not saying that reduce the tax. I'm saying that we have accumulated a petroleum price stabilization levy.
I've gotten that one, Alex, but I'm just saying that there's still push. I mean, I engage people on the street, drivers, and it's like, remove the taxes, wingy taxes, you know. The reality on the ground, well, is that possible?
No, you cannot remove certain taxes because some of them have been securitized against bonds that have been issued from the ESLA. So you can't reduce those.
Economist Professor Godfrey Bokpin is charging governments to be intentional in supporting the growth of indigenous businesses irrespective of their political ties. This, he believes, is the only way that the country can have businesses fully benefit from the continental free trade area. He was speaking at a public lecture organized by the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana. Take a listen.
The Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana organized a public lecture themed Promoting Indigenous Ghanaian Business to Take Advantage of AFTA. Speaking at the lecture, economist and finance lecturer Professor Godfrey Bokpin urged government to support the growth of indigenous businesses regardless of their political connections.
One big problem why as a country we have not been able to guarantee domestic private sector leadership is that the political elite in Ghana has been scared of a worthy or powerful indigenous private sector. This has manifested in the systematic profiling of indigenous private sector, including their political affiliation, which then influences the posture of the state in dealing with these indigenous businesses, including creating a hostile environment for them, resulting in some of them running away from their businesses. What we are observing is that every government in power, its affiliated businesses are favored much to the disadvantage of the national entrepreneurial ecosystem.
Minister Councillor for Trade and Investment Kofi Addo emphasized that the survival of any business depends on accounting and auditing.
Ms. Nketia did say something, that accounting and auditing are like the keys to every door. Ms. Nketia, I would say that they are foundation to every business. If they are not able to stand, when the challenges come, the business will crumble. The government has also embarked on various sectorial reform programs aimed at boosting economic transformation and are being implemented to make our businesses globally competitive.
The research concluded that tax reforms are necessary to help businesses grow, as well as good networks and capacity building. Here's President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana, Professor Williams Atwilik.
From this dialogue, the conclusion is that strengthening indigenous businesses is important in helping us solve several of our problems. As an institute, we regulate accountants, and accountants interact and interface with businesses. So we come face to face with the challenges of businesses, particularly Ghanaian-based businesses. So we thought that let us reach out to Business Association of Ghana. Let us have some dialogue and conversation on how we can together highlight the key issues into solving some of the problems of Ghana. And we thought that building indigenous business is one of the.
Well, away from that, the future of work in Ghana will be virtual and from home. This is a projection by the president of the Institute of Human Resource, Dr. Edward Kwapon, who has just urged HR professionals to adapt new ways of working. He's been speaking at the Joy Business at the 13th graduation ceremony of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Professionals.
We're saying that HR is assuming a new dimension. We are moving away from the traditional HR practice to a more modernized and digitized environment in terms of even recruitment, in terms of training and development, in terms of performance management, in terms of career development, and even in terms of data management. Now that database on human resource is even hosted in the cloud, it's a new era altogether. So we are moving away from manual to digitized environment, and we are moving away from transactional activities to strategic activities in supporting business to achieve value. 2022, we are seeking to obtain or get our LI passed. That will be the set of regulations that will operationalize the parent law, the Act 1020, and therefore that is what we are going to pursue. We've done the drafts, and they are with the Ministry of Education, who sponsored the bill, the parent bill and law initially. So we're going to work closely with them to make sure that the LI is also passed, and then we'll be in a position to formalize processes for enforcing or implementing some of the functions that are defined in the Act. A lot of people will be seeking to work from home. There will be work sharing, there will be teleworking, there will be more kind of digitized processes, so that the physical presence of a worker at the workplace will gradually recede, and it will be more of digitization and computerization, robotics and artificial intelligence.
And we stay a bit longer on the 13th graduation ceremony of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Professionals Management, as 322 graduates were ushered into the world of human resource practice. The Chief Executive of the Institute, Ebenezer Agbeto, says the only way HR managers can survive the times is when they straightly adapt to the changing trends of artificial intelligence.
For the first time, we have 322 students graduating today from our level 3 program. I can say that it is a significant, achievement as compared to last year when the numbers, hovering around 194. So indeed, it shows about 69% increase in our graduates, and we can see that it is even going to get better as we go along. My message to the graduates is that step out there and distinguish yourself and do things that indeed will make people feel attracted to the profession. That is no longer as things that it used to be, but we are now in an era that we will exhibit professionalism as pertaining to our work at the workplace.
Away from that, the delay in conducting a comprehensive audit on the expenditure related to Ghana's COVID-19 management is fueling the perception of embezzlement in the country. That's according to the COVID-19 Transparency and Accountability Project report by non-governmental organization Budget Ghana. We have more in this report.
While commending the government for all this work, it's important to start the conversation about how much we receive through loans and grants from our development partners and how we expended the money. This will engender confidence in our governance process and deal with the growing perception of embezzlement in COVID-19 related expenditures. It is in this spirit that Budget Ghana has come together with our regional partners, including Send Ghana, including Collector Development, and a host of other CSOs, to track pandemic-related expenditure. But we cannot do this work alone. It will require the participation of all CSOs to deepen our voice in the call for accountability. And that is the purpose for our meeting here today. So while launching our CTAP report, we hope to have a conversation as CSOs and collectively call on the government for this to be done.
Now, with barely 2 weeks to go for Christmas, the Food and Beverage Association, in partnership with the Food and Drugs Authority, is intensifying surveillance to weed out unscrupulous agents infiltrating retail markets with unwholesome goods. Of course, as the festive season beckons, shelves of shopping malls and markets are being restocked with goods for purchasing, but the Food and Beverage Association says that much surveillance will be effected to weed out unscrupulous persons.
So far, what we have on the market, we've been able to at least police, or let me use that word, to police a lot of things that are coming in with the conjunction with the FDA, to ensure that those who are bringing in unscrupulous imports are really dealt with, and then to ensure that the association members also, with what they are coming in with, for the Yuletide and also for what has already come into the system, are really safe and wholesome for consumption.
But of course, we've seen global supply chains being disrupted. Issues regarding the stocking of most of these shelves. Are we having a similar playback in Ghana?
In Ghana, yeah, let me say that we've had our in and outs, and fortunately, some of the local products, our local manufacturers have stepped in to also do what they can. The product that they can produce as compared to the imported product, if they can, has really gone up to ensure that we don't have any gap in there.
That's Samuel Agri, the Executive Director of the Food and Beverage Association. You're still watching Business Live. We're taking a short break. Do stay with us. Well, let's now talk creative arts, because Creative House is a creative hub that specializes in media productions and training programs to unleash the creativity of young people across the country. Now, they redefine how untapped talent are scaled and prepared for the creative arts industry. James Eshan visited the hub and comes through with this report.
Ghana's creative art industry has a potential for national development, but little seems to be said about the sector. For Creative House, they redefine how untapped talent are scaled and prepared for the creative arts industry. This is done through training programs to unleash the creativity of these young people in one of Africa's creator community, Accra, Ghana. Eugene Afo has been running this business for months. He shares this with Joy Business.
So we know you are into quite a number of things, to training people and all that. Just take me through what Creator House, what you guys are all about.
Okay, so Creator House came about due to the dying need for creatives in Ghana, wanting a space or a place where they can meet, they can network, they can work from, and then they can co-create. We've been doing this for about a year now. We started Creator House due to the dire need for creatives to get a space where they can meet, they can network, they can co-create to solve problems with creative sustainable solutions to it. So we decided that why don't we get a space where creatives can come feel relaxed, work from here, and then gain creative entrepreneur training and skill set.
Why creative art industry? Why not you going into the mining industry or any other industry in itself?
Well, we chose the creative industry because I'm a filmmaker myself. I'm a media tech consultant, and starting up right after university and starting up my business, it was quite difficult for me to get a space like this where I can go feel a sense of belonging. They can hear me out, they can nurture my idea and build my skill set for me. It was quite difficult, and I know that I'm not the only one in this space. I got my support way from Germany, and it was quite difficult, and I just didn't get it why creatives in Ghana would have to look all the way outside the country for support. So coming back to the country, I decided, okay, fine. Why don't you be like a bridge where you can get this avenue for creatives? So that is one of the main reasons why I did that. And also, what buttressed the point was UNICEF constantly reported since 2010 that the creative arts industry is one of the major contributors of Ghana's GDP. So if that's the case, then why don't we nurture more businesses, in that space? So that's one of the reasons why we did Creator House.
One thing that I read about Creator House has to do with training. How is it being done?
So we run both consulting services for startups and SMEs, and we also have training programs. Now, our training programs, the first of it is the Creative Skill Development Training Program, which is for anybody within the ages of 18 to 35. That training program, we build their skill set on creative skills like photography, video production, video editing, graphic design, and web development. So anybody that's interested to build a career in any of these creative fields, that is a training program for them. And then we have a startup incubation program which is geared towards women. So that is called Women in Art and Culture program, where we train any woman or women-led businesses in the creative space. It's a two-wing program. The first part is a technical/creative training, where we give them creative essentials to promote their businesses. So who needs a logo, who needs a website, who needs this. We show them how to do it themselves. So a makeup artist or a fashion designer, for example, will go through the process of learning how to develop their website themselves, develop a logo themselves, develop or know how to edit promotional short videos for their businesses. And then we graduate them to a business development phase, and that is where we bridge the gap between the creative side and then the business side of it. So how do they get the accounting in play? How do they learn more about bookkeeping? How do they become business owners? Because we realize that most creative people see what they do as jobs rather than businesses. So they are there waiting for the next gig. If that gig doesn't come, they are just there. But if they see what they do as businesses, then they will rather start writing proposals and then bidding for whatever contract they are supposed to.
Bringing creative minds together, they build capacity across the entire production value chain and support co-creation and unique African content. The services vary from media productions to web technologies. They tailor to align and run with the usage of an array of services for a stronger brand, whether big or small.
And before we leave, Herbal Healthcare Center 21st Clinic has once again added to its home of fame and several awards credentials of another huge international award. Now, the clinic and its chief executive, Dr. Blessed Foster, bagged 2 awards for providing excellent herbal care assistance in Ghana and across the world. We have more in this report.
The award, organized by the African Regional Magazine, was held in Kigali, Rwanda. On the 9th, 21st Clinic won the Outstanding Herbal-Based Clinic of the Year award, and its CEO, Dr. Bless Foster, on his part, was awarded for his achievements and several successes in the herbal medicine sector. Speaking after receiving his award, Dr. Bless dedicated the win to Ghanaians, especially the people and traditional Council of Nkuranza in the Bono East region for their support and contribution towards the growth of the 21st Clinic brand.
We'll first of all say a very big thank you to the general public for supporting us, and then also to you, the media, for the good work you have done for us. When we came into the scene, you have supported us, you have been with us, and you have tried in helping us to create awareness about our operations. We are very grateful. With this reward, it has brought another pressure on us. The award has made us know that indeed Ghanaians need a lot from us.
And they said they want to make sciatica awareness, very loud and clear. Ama pressure crown as I better yes. Until they are award we no say ne abasubo we ne koma ya ti akoda. It's ama ya be say there is so much Ghanaians are expecting the general public expected from here.
The African Regional Magazine awarded and recognized over 100 most influential individuals and corporate institutions in the African continent.
Well, that'll be it for Business Live. I'm Charles IH. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Many thanks for watching. Let's do the same next week. In the meantime, please enjoy the rest of our programs.